Chapter 72. Then Satan and 10 from his hosts transformed themselves into maidens with more grace than any others in the entire world. They came up out of the river in front of Adam and Eve, and they said among themselves, "Come, we will look at the faces of Adam and Eve, who are of the men on earth. They are beautiful, and their faces look different than ours." Then they came to Adam and Eve and greeted them, and they stood amazed at them. Adam and Eve looked at them also and wondered at their beauty, and said, "Is there another world under us with such beautiful creatures as these in it?" And the maidens said to Adam and Eve, "Yes, indeed, many of us were created." Then Adam said to them, "But how do you multiply?" And they told him, "We have husbands who have married us, and we bear them children, who grow up and in turn marry, and are married and also bear children. Thus we increase. O Adam, you will not believe us. We will show you our husbands and our children." Then they shouted over the river as if to call their husbands and their children, and men and children came up from the river, and every man came to his wife, and his children were with him. But when Adam and Eve saw them, they stood speechless and were amazed at them. Then they said to Adam and Eve, "See all our husbands and our children. You should marry Eve as we have married our husbands, so that you will have children as we have." This was the way Satan was to deceive Adam. Satan also thought to himself, "God at first commanded Adam concerning the fruit of the tree, saying to him, 'Do not eat of it, or else you shall die.' But Adam ate of it, but God did not kill him. He only gave him by law death, plagues, and trials, until the day he shall leave his body. But if I deceive him to do this thing and marry Eve without God's permission, God will kill him." Therefore Satan worked this apparition before Adam and Eve, because he sought to kill him, and to make him disappear from off the face of the earth. Meanwhile, the fire of immortality came over Adam, and he thought of committing transgression. But he restrained himself, fearing that if he followed the advice of Satan, God would put him to death. Then Adam and Eve got up and prayed to God, while Satan and his host went down into the river in front of Adam and Eve, so they would see them going back to their own world. Then Adam and Eve went back to the cave of treasures, as they usually did around evening time, and they both got up and prayed to God that night. Adam remained standing in prayer, but did not know how to pray because of the thoughts in his heart about marrying Eve. And he continued this way until morning. When light came up, Adam said to Eve, "Get up, let us go below the mountain where they brought us gold, and let us ask the Lord concerning this matter." Then Eve said, "What is that matter, Adam?" And he answered her, "That I may request the Lord to inform me about marrying you, because I will not do it without his permission, or else he will kill you and me. For those devils who have set my heart on fire with thoughts of what they showed us in their sinful visions." Then Eve said to Adam, "Why do we need to go to the foot of the mountain? Let us rather stand up and pray in our cave to God, to let us know whether this advice is good or not." Then Adam rose up in prayer and said, "O God, you know that we transgressed against you, and from the moment we sinned, we were stripped of our bright nature, and our body became brutish, requiring food and drink, and with animal desires. Command us, O God, not to give way to them without your permission, for fear that you will turn us into nothing. If you do not give us permission, we will be overcome and follow that advice of Satan, and you will again kill us. If not, then take our souls from us, and let us be rid of this animal lust. And if you give us no order about this thing, then separate Eve from me, and me from her, and place us each far away from the other. Then, O God, if you separate us from each other, the devils will deceive us with their apparitions that resemble us, and destroy our hearts, and defile our thoughts towards each other. If our heart is not toward each other, it will be toward them, through their appearances when the devils come to us in our likeness." Here Adam ended his prayer.